Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from where you are. This is Margot or Irene Musau. I'm currently the IELTA Kenya ambassador, and we've been having these sessions right from early last year, and this is our 15th series. And today we have a speaker from Indonesia, and our moderator will be Mary Nguro. So Mary is an experienced professional teacher in Kenya with a strong passion for education, inspiring learners both at the primary and the secondary level. She also enjoys teaching and collaborating, project-based learning, and IT integrations in her lessons to enhance learners' engagement that fosters critical thinking, creativity to achieve fullest potential. So welcome to the session. Mary Nguro, the floor is yours. You can start on. Thank you. Mary, please unmute.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Go on, we can hear.
Okay. So I'm taking this opportunity to welcome everyone this evening once again to our webinar. And today we are unpacking second language acquisition, how we can truly learn another language. We are very excited to have you all on board to learn together and to share as well as collaborate. We have our very able guest speaker who is known as Dwiki Rahman from Indonesia, who is a linguistic practitioner from that country. He is a certified TESOL PTAA and IELTS instructor. He's an academic linguistics practitioner who helps learners master the English language. And he has also been for a long time helping his learners to excel in exams, as well as gain confidence in academics and practical language use. So he's very experienced in that area. And I'm taking this.
Atención, la carretera presenta ligera son.
Hello, pardon, please.
Better. Go on.
You can go. We can continue. So I want to take this opportunity to now to invite our very able, experienced guest speaker, Khan, to take us through in this webinar, whereby we are unpacking second language acquisition and how we can truly learn another language. Let us all explore this topic together. Welcome, Khan. Welcome, the floor is yours, Khan.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Khan?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome.
Yes.
Take us through the topic, please.
Okay, I can share it right now. Okay, this one. Okay, I think I can start right now, okay? Okay, yeah, so nice to meet you guys. So my name is Dwiki Rahman Khan. You can call me Dwiki. So I'm a representative of IELTA Indonesia. And I would like to say my gratitude to IELTA Kenya, who invited me as their guest speaker in this section. And I would like to discuss more about second language acquisition, or SLA, because I got my degree in linguistics. So I learned on how people learn second language, linguistics, and so on. And yeah, you can just call me Dwiki, Ki, or Dwi. That's totally fine. Yeah, because I'm not sure, but that's how people.
Dwiki, are you there? I don't know whether it's from my end only or everyone is not hearing like me.
There's a problem with the network, I think, because I also cannot get him.
Okay. That's technical hitches happen. Let's give him like a few minutes. As we wait for him, you can write on the chat box how many languages you can speak fluently.
Okay, sorry. Network connection. Okay, let's start again. So yeah, here, yeah. So can I show this? Okay. And this one. Okay. So what is second language acquisition? So basically, it refers on how the process individuals can learn other language beside of their mother tongue. Now, basically, since our birth, since I mean, like we were a baby, we learn on how our mother, our environment talk about. Okay, I mean, like for example, if you are living in Kenya right now, you can speak Swahili, but in Indonesia, we cannot speak Swahili because why? Basically, nobody lives in Indonesia can speak Swahili just like how the Kenya can speak. Now, on second language acquisition terms, how we can learn other languages. Okay, so let's keep it. We can learn language from multiple actions. From where? Speaking practice, use language learning apps, watching English films, also reading English books, maybe like dictionaries, literature, English literature, like Shakespeare. If you do like it, well, it can boost your English capability. Okay, let's go on. So SLA, these are the terms that I'm implementing this on the uh, presentation. That SLA means learning beyond the first language. So language is acquired through interaction and communication. Okay, so if you want to talk like we are doing right now, English is my second language. So if I want to talk with you right now, I have to acquire this language. However, in my environment right now in Indonesia, nobody in my environment can speak in English. So how can I acquire my second language acquisition in here? That's what we are going to learn about. Okay, let's go. So how SLA difference across ages? Now, this is the most important things. Ages also play a pivotal role for you if you want to learn second language, whether it is English, French, other languages. If you want to learn English maybe as your second language, basically you can learn it in every age. But there are some, I mean, like some ages that you need to learn. I mean, like from maybe from toddlers, from children, adolescent, or adult. Basically, the best one, if you want to learn second language, it must be conducted from the children. Why? Because different ages means different learning mechanism. Maybe in the 19th century and then 20th century, also in the 2000s early, people didn't really know about technology. Google Translate wasn't a thing. So people utilized dictionary, list of vocabularies. So it was really difficult for them to learn this language, right? I mean, if you wanted to learn French as your second language, maybe in the 2000s, early 2000s, and then in the late 90s, the only way for you, and then the most easiest way for you to learn English as your second language is from your teacher, maybe from dictionary, from your circle, maybe from English community in your region. But nowadays, can you see that toddlers can learn English from musics, from movies, from cartoons? They can learn English much more better than we had before. So that's how the age also plays a role in second language acquisition, which means toddlers, children nowadays can speak better than we can. So that's how second language can be conducted from ages, maybe from digital literacy, maybe from handphone, smartphone. Because in the 2000s early, if you wanted to learn language, maybe you can only conduct it with your teacher. Nobody can conduct it. So that's how the second language acquisition can be conducted. Okay. Maybe from your peers also, from your environment also. Okay. Let's go on. So why children learn second language faster that we can do? The first thing is high brain adaptability. So imagine like this. A toddler keeps crying for maybe a year, for maybe a year or 2 years, yeah, since he was born or she was born. She couldn't speak or he couldn't speak anything, basically. He can only speak I mean, like he keeps crying and then yelling to his mother or her father. Because why? The baby cannot speak any language, any type of language. Now, because of the environment, because of the society, because of the family, because of the official language in the state, that's how the babies are looking. So the babies are looking toward to their friends, to their families, that oh, this is how they speak, and they try to imitate it. They try to imitate it, and the most important thing is they have no fear of making mistakes. Now, this is the most important things. Maybe we as an adult, it's really difficult for us to speak English. Maybe we are terrified of the vocabularies, the lexical resource, and then the grammatical structures. Maybe we made a lot of mistakes. So that's why it's really difficult for us to really to speak in English, because we need to brainstorming. We need to make it like we need to brainstorm in our head first, and then oh, is this first? Is the grammatical structure is true or false? So we make a lot of concepts in our brains, which makes our progress is slower than the babies. Okay, so that's why the children can speak better than we can do, because they have no fear of making mistakes, and they love to imitate their friends. They love to play with their friends with the same language, and then they love to repeat the same vocabularies. So that's how they can speak better in English in second language acquisition term. So my suggestion for my students also, because I'm a teacher also, I keep saying that you should learn second language since you were 5 or 6 years old. Because why? Your brain is still high. Your brain can still learn more languages than we can do right now. Because why? Children have nothing to think about. They just want to play, they just want to roaming around with your friends. So that's how they can learn second language acquisition much more better than we can do right now. Also about the digital technology, can you imagine like AI? AI can also help them learning English without their teachers at home. Anywhere they would like to discuss with the AI instead of the teachers at schools, they can learn this language much more better than the others. Okay, especially with the adults or adolescents, because like for the adults and adolescents, they have other things to think about. Maybe they are pursuing their academics degree, and so on, and then they are teaching, they are working. What about the children? They keep thinking about playing, and then yeah, playing and playing with their friends or with their peers. Okay, let's go on. And then how teenagers learn efficiently. So the children can learn language, second language, much more faster, but the teenagers can learn this more effectively, more efficiently. Because why? They are the one who can truly utilize AI and digital technologies nowadays. Can you imagine like maybe in the early 2000s and in the 90s, 70s, technology wasn't a thing, and teenagers at the time had to read books, dictionaries, and then learn it with their teachers. But nowadays, can you imagine that teenagers can answer the question from the teachers? So the teachers gave them a homework, and then are utilizing AI to answer the questions using prompt and then using English more grammatically, and then the grammatical structure is correct 100%, vast range of vocabularies. So the teenagers are the one who can truly maximize the potential of digital technologies. So they can learn English more efficiently than their teachers do. So I have a case in Indonesia. So this teacher has been learning English since 2000s. Yeah, maybe approximately 25 years from now. But this teenager, this adolescent, learning less than 3 years, and they have the same capability in language. Can you imagine? A teacher learns English for the rest of her life, like 25 years, and then can easily beaten up by an adolescent learning this using AI, using digital technology, using games, less than 3 years. So I think teenagers can learn English more effectively. So that's why many teachers right now are encouraging their students to learn with them, because maybe I'm not sure, maybe they are being envied to the AI, but that's how the modern world looks like now. So my suggestion to my students also, you should consider using AI and then the teacher both, because why? AI cannot give you facial expression, but we teachers, we can do as the same way. Now, for the second language term, because basically the teenagers, they've been learning their mother tongue. Me, as an Indonesian, my mother tongue language is Malay. The second one is Indonesian. The third one is English. Now, because maybe we don't have any money to purchase any class, to purchase an English course, so we can easily learn English from AI. So that's how right now, okay, the number of second language in English are increasingly higher than before. Because why? The digital technologies encourage them to learn English not only in the class, but also in everywhere. So that's how the teenagers can learn English more effectively. Okay. Also, they can learn it from digital and social platforms. Can you imagine right now? We are using TikTok, we are using Instagram, we are using Twitter, we are using Facebook. And those social media platforms encourage us to understand English, whether we like it or not. Okay. And then the globalization of the world, and I think, and so on, because many companies right now ask their employees to speak at least the minimum capacity of English, at least the minimum one as their second language. So the demand, the progression, and then on how the world is globalizing right now, I think that's why teenagers can adapt more effectively than the adults in the early 2000s or maybe in the 90s. So that's why. And then also digital work as a language room. I think this is really important, because why? Traditional classrooms also important, but I think in this case right now, in this era, we have to encourage the student to use digital in the classroom. Because why? We cannot deny the advancement of technology right now. We cannot deny that. Maybe we can use a projector in the classroom to display a video, a photo, or maybe a picture that they can describe about this one. So they can encourage, so the teachers need to encourage the students to speak about this picture, maybe this video, or making a conclusion based on the image displayed by a projector. So that's how we can encourage also the students to learn about second language. However, right now, maybe due to the fact that not many institutions, academic institution, have the same similarities, they don't have appropriate conditions, maybe lack of electricity, maybe lack of digital resources, maybe they don't know what is technology at all. So that's the issue that we are having right now. If they can't be equivalent to the technology that we are having right now, well, it's exacerbating, it's hindering their true potential. So I think digital work as a language classroom is also playing a pivotal role to encourage the students to speak in second language term. Because why we cannot only depend in first language unless if you live in Australia, in United States, in UK, where English environment is rich in there. I think yeah, no issue for you to speak in English because basically you speak English as your first language. But for us, for me, because English is my third language, English is second language for most people, then we need to use digital as our tool in our classroom in order to in order to build our students and courage in this modern era. Because why? I mean, like ambassadors and then people, yeah. I mean, like if you are playing games right now, uh, students and then adolescents, they need to communicate with each other. With what language? With our language. With our language. I mean, like Indonesian. Indonesian is not the official language in the world whether we like it or not, we need to master English. So that's why I think they can learn it from games, from digital, and then from social media platforms. So that's how we can boost our English potential in our students as a second language term. Because I've been implementing this with my friends, with my peers, with my communities, and it works. So that's how I think I want to share this with you guys. And then let's go. So why adults learn more slowly? So yeah, this is the case because I met a lot of teachers in my country and they've been struggling to master in English. Because why? There are a lot of conditions. Maybe the first one, the brain is not, I mean, it's not working, but it's reduced. Maybe because, adults think a lot of things instead of the children and teenagers. And then also they fear of errors or limits practicing because people keep working, adults keep working, they need to be the backbone of their family. So I think they have other things to do instead of learning in English. So that's the thing. And then the third one, sometimes adult focuses on roles, not in communication. It's happening in children, in adolescents, in teenagers. It's not happening because we don't think about the rules. We're not thinking about the grammatical structures. Even though we made a lot of mistakes, we simply don't care about it. We just want to speak in English. Whether it's true or false, we don't care at all. Maybe in the end, our teacher, our educator, try to, oh, hold on, you're speaking in English is fluent. But I think we need to maximize your potential by repairing those grammatical errors in your sentence. But adults, they don't think like that. Sometimes adults, they want to speak in English, but maybe they fear of something. They fear of being bullied of the others, and then they aren't confident enough to speak in English. Yeah, a lot of things, a lot of issues within the adults. Maybe because they also, I mean, like the less exposure, also slower in progress because they have other things to do. Just I told you before, they have other interests to do instead of learning in English. Maybe he's a teacher, but not an English teacher. He's a mathematician teacher. Maybe he's a sport teacher. So the teachers don't have any intention to learn in English more effectively because they've got other things to do more important than learning in English. So that's the thing. Unless you are an English teacher, just like we have right now, you are an English teacher and you've been learning English since maybe you're in basic school, elementary school. But if you are, I mean, like if you start learning English, maybe from your college age, maybe after you're graduating from your college, well, it's way much more difficult than you can think because your brain is focuses on other things, not in English. So that's why. And then many adults focus on studying grammar. So that's the thing. Studying grammar, learning about grammatical structure, and then I mean like rather than using the language actively, which limits fluency. Fluency is number one. Fluency, coherence, and then the grammatical structure can follow up after you can master the fluency. Yeah, I mean like time constraints, stress, also lack of consistent interaction. So these are the things why adults, I mean, like not all of the adults can learn effectively in English, but from my perspective and from my research, adults learn slower than the adolescents and the children, also the toddlers especially, because they have no intention at all to learn in English unless they want to pursue their academics degree, maybe outside from the country. Maybe we want, for example, we want to pursue our scholarship, maybe, and then academics degree in Australia, in UK, whereas English is their first language. Then we want to learn English as our second language. But basically, beside of that, we have no intention at all to learn English. Yeah, instead of English teacher, especially. Okay. Also about the second language acquisition can also be conducted by colonial history and English proficiency in the past. Now we take a look in here, okay? African countries look alike in 1880, and this is how the European countries took a look in 1913. Can you imagine, like, there are a lot of empty places right now? The European cartographers at the time didn't really map all of the African countries, but this how the African countries used to be alike in 1930s. So less than 40 years, the African countries carve up this map and then they try to impose their languages in here. Now, second language acquisition can also be conducted through colonialism and oppression at the time. So take a look in Kenya, okay? So Kenya at the time, they've got plenty of languages. They had a lot of languages at the time. However, like the distance between Britain and Kenya is too far away, right? The Britain, the UK is on the other side of the planet, and UK is in Africa, is in the African countries. Now, basically, in the mindset of the colonialists at the time, they believed that the idea of civilizing mission. So, what is civilizing mission? Basically, European countries believe that they are the most intellectual, they are the most innovative people on this planet. So they are they are responsible to bring indigenous people into civilization. So from the barbarism into civilization through what? Through language. So they imposed their languages in many countries, including Indonesian, African countries, Asian countries, because they believe with the idea of civilizing mission. They are the most top, they are the top one on this planet at the time, yeah, at the time, okay? At the time, they are the top one, the top most intellectual people on this planet. So they wanted to bring these indigenous people, local people into civilization through their mindset, through their language. So they imposed English and other languages in Africa because why? They believed with the idea of civilizing mission. They wanted the local people to speak more than one language, especially foreign language in English. Now, because Kenya got colonized by Britain, so Britain came to Kenya and imposed this language in their land because they believed with the idea of civilizing mission, because they wanted to bring Kenya into a higher, um, they wanted to bring Kenya into a humanity. They wanted Kenya to build their own civilization through Western mindset. So that's why second language was a tool for the colonialists to justify their action into the colonialism at that time. Okay. So that's why we see right now a lot of people speaking English, speaking in French, speaking Spanish, because why? With the idea of civilizing mission. This was the case why many European countries imposed their languages into their colonials. So that's why. Okay. So second language can be conducted through digital technologies, through teachers, environment, and then family, peer, also the society, the official language of a nation, also the oppression of colonialists at that time. So that's why, okay? As we can see in here, the picture depicted that the European, the American, dropped a lot of people on their shoulder, on their back. Because why? As we can see on the top, this is the civilization. However, we can see that oppression in here, barbarism in here, they have to climb up to bring these people into civilization. Through what? And this is the unique thing, the tricky one that the colonialists used to justify their action in African countries. By what? By leveraging second language acquisition in their land. So that's why they agreed with the idea of civilizing mission, so they could spread their language without caring those people whether they like it or not. We had to impose our language in order to bring civilization into their country. So language is not only a tool. Language is a civilization. That's how the European countries look at the time. So we can see that second language acquisition can be conducted by through many methods, strategies, approaches, and so on. So that's why we can see that many people take a look in Asian countries, African countries, they can speak more than one language because why? With the idea of civilizing mission. Okay, so I'm bringing to you from the past, now, and in the future. In the future, we are using AI. Right now, we are using the beginning of AI and the transition between translation, normal translation into AI. And in the past, people used civilizing mission in order to justify the action in their colonial states. So that's why. Okay, so yeah, these are the things. Yeah, countries that were once colonized by English-speaking nations such as India, Malaysia, or Kenya often show higher English proficiency because the language became part of daily life. So because yeah, the colonialists at the time believed that our language must be conducted in your daily routine, daily activity. Okay, so also English embedded in colonial state to colonial institutions, language remained official after independence. Many countries right now, including Asian countries, Latin Americans, also United States, USA, also shows that English is their official language, even though they've been granted their independence since 17th, 18th century. It was 250 years ago, but they are still using English in their daily activity. It means that language is an important part of the society. It's not because of the colonialists imposed it, but because the vision of the country that believe language is a tool to unify a society, to unify a family. And it takes a lot of time, a lot of hard works to replace it with a new one. So that's why many people, many countries right now, okay, that's fine. You can speak more than one language. You can speak our native language. Also, you can speak a foreign language. That's totally fine. We just want you to speak in English. We just want to speak in our language. Don't forget our history. Don't forget our culture, and try to preserve our own language. That's how the countries take a look on how they preserve their local language and imposing foreign language in their country, both. So that's how they can take a look on it. Okay, and also non-colonial countries less natural exposure. That's what happening in Indonesia. We don't speak in English because we didn't get colonized by Britain and so on. Okay, and yeah, these are the case why Kenya and the theory behind it and so on, because I believe that I put one theory in it. Left Vygotsky. It's really hard to pronounce his name. So language is acquired through social interaction, community involvement, and shared cultural experience. That's how the second language can be conducted. Now I'm bringing you from the socio-cultural, and from his story at the same time. Okay, there are a lot of things that we need to discover, but I want to emphasize that language can also be conducted from socio-cultural, from history, and then from government policy. So that's how English or second language can be conducted. And we can learn second language from different institutions right now. We can learn it from different platforms. You can learn it with your friends, with your peers, in order to boost your second language practice. Because without practicing, well, your second language will be fading. Also, this is the thing that I like the most. Second language, if your brain got damaged by something, let's say that your brain got damaged by something, your second language will be fading. So it's really easy to tell that your brain is working or not. I mean, like, is it healthy or not? By take a look. Are you fluent? Can you still speak in English? Can you still speak English as your second language? Whether it is French, whether it is Arabs, whether it is um Dutch, Germany, whether it is as your second language, if your brain got damaged, the first thing that will be fading is your second language. So that's how we can learn on how second language acquisition can be conducted through community, through peer, through digital platform, through game, through social media, and so on. Okay. And then, yeah, this is RJ's point. And then this is the conclusion before we move on into the Q&A section. I believe that, not I believe that, but I want to make sure that second language acquisition can also be shaped by social interaction, environment, age, and exposure. Sometimes children acquire languages naturally through daily communication because they have no idea about this. Is it true or not? They simply don't care. They just want to speak. So that's why children can speak better than the adults and the teenagers. So if you want maybe your children, maybe your friends, to learn more better as a second language acquisition, they should learn it from the beginning. Because why? I've been learning English since I was at basic school. So that's why maybe I can speak in English, maybe not very fluent, but at least I can speak in English. It takes a lot of time. It takes practice. It takes a lot of practices. So I believe that in this second language acquisition, we can learn it through so many factors, yeah, through so many methods like leveraging AI. You can talk to your friends, to your teachers. Maybe you can visit another country where English is the first language in there. You can see the main difference between our second language with their first language. So that's why. Okay. Also, the influence of history and society can also be seen in countries like Kenya, where English remains a central part of education and communication due to colonial heritage. So we can bring this from the colonial heritage into the technological advancement of education of like AI and so on. Okay. Learn also like this one, understanding these factors helps teachers and learners see that language learning is not a single path, but a diverse journey shaped by human growth and cultural experience. Also, right now, before we move on to the Q&A section, I want to add something. Nowadays, because the impact of modernization, people need to talk to each other, and the most spoken language right now in the world is English. So whether we like it or not, we have to teach our children to speak in English, whether we like it or not. Like in the UN embassy and so on. If you take a look on the social media, on the news, we can see that many ambassadors, many presidents, many prime ministers, many kings, they speak the same language, English. So I think we need to teach our students, our pupils, our children also to how speak in English, whether we like it or not, because it's an integral part of our society right now. The global society right now is speaking English, not speaking in other language. So I think this is the case why if your main language is not English, just like I do right now, well, we need to leverage those things that I mentioned before, like AI, teach, and then talk to your friends, maybe from games, gamification. You can use games in your classroom and so on. Okay. And that's all for today. Thank you so much. Maybe if you have a question, you can throw it to me. Back to Miss Mary.
Yes, thank you very much, Khan, for taking us through this important topic on how to learn a new language. We have learned a lot. The different approaches on how to acquire a new language. Thank you very much. I'm inviting the participants, if there is anybody with any question, kindly, you can raise your hand or you can put it in the chat and Khan will answer the question, please. So kindly, you can raise your hand or you can write in the chat any question and put it across. Or maybe you can even share your experience on acquiring a new language. If you'd like to share your experience, you can share it with us so that we can all improve in this area. So if there's no question,
just an interest.
It's raising hand.
We have Emmanuel Onyango, who says, I can speak 7 languages fluently. It really got my attention. Maybe he can tell us how he managed that. Yeah, Emmanuel Onyango, please.
Okay. So, what was the question, sorry? Can you repeat again?
Yes, Francisco. Francisco, kindly ask your question. Hello, Francisco. Can you hear me? Francisco is asking a question, but I can't get him. Why is he? Okay, let us, he appears like he has disappeared. I cannot get him. Francisco, can you please unmute and talk? Unmute yourself, please.
Yes, I can hear now. It's better now. Thank you very much for allowing me to. Yes. Thank you very much for this great opportunity being provided to me now. I'd like you please to understand better on the perspective of Miss. I don't know. This is the correct pronunciation. Doki. Yes.
Dwiki, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I was sorry. Yes, I'd like you please you to help me to understand better the difference between learning and acquiring. It's like learning and the acquisition. Yes, please. Thank you.
Sorry, so your question is about, I don't get it. Can you describe it?
He's asking
Yes.
the difference between.
Yes, okay.
The difference between acquiring and learning. Do they
Wow, okay,
are
okay.
they the same? Yes, are they the same? Or we can find some differences between them.
Okay, okay, okay. So the main difference between acquiring and learning. Is that it? Okay. So yeah, thank you for the question. So what is the main difference between learning and acquiring? So actually learning is a process on how you can learn a language. Acquiring means you learn a new thing. For example, acquiring a new language. You're acquiring a language. It means that this is the first time, maybe this is the momentum of you to learn about this language. So learning is a process on how you can learn a language, while acquiring is the first time, maybe the first time you've been look up into this language and then you want to learn about it. That's how the process of learning you can use as a term. So acquiring, yeah, this one, yeah, second language acquisition means that this is the first time on how you can on how we can learn a language. Now, just I told you before how we could really learn, acquire a new language, maybe through some methods, some strategies. In the past, colonialists used oppression to spread their language. So that's how the Asian people, the African countries learned their languages at the same time. It was the first time ever they acquired that time because they had no idea why is this language. Okay. And then what about learning? Now, by the meantime, African countries, Asian countries, they learn on how this language works. So that's how we can use the term of learning. Okay. Is that answering your question?
Yes, thank you very much, Khan, for answering that question. So,
Absolutely.
okay, we can continue. It is good to know that technology, which is accessible these days, is a great tool for learning and picking new languages. Okay, I can see somebody say that is Bo says that he thinks that speaking many languages, in order for one to excel, you've got to do some practice, which is very correct. It seems to me learning requires a formal context, while acquiring a new language requires an informal context. Then, that is very true. It is very true. Now we are coming to the end of our webinar for today. I want us to appreciate our guest speaker with a clap. And then I'm going to invite Margot to issue our speaker with a certificate for the great work that he has done today. So Margot, you are welcome to issue the certificate. Margot, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much, Mary, for inviting me and taking this chance again to thank Dwiki Rahman Khan. He's really taken us through a very nice session on language acquisition, and truly learning is a process. And for you to get those languages, like in Kenya, where we have at least most people speaking 3 languages, that's English, Kiswahili, and the mother tongue, has been something that is of interest to so many. So like I was saying, there was someone who had mentioned 7 languages, and I was like, okay, I couldn't really imagine that. But you find in urban areas in Kenya, the neighborhood people will have different languages, and you can always grasp, like I can hear several languages, but I'm not able to speak. So thank you so much for taking us through that session. And I really appreciate you for accepting the invitation to be our guest speaker today. And in that juncture, kindly, Dwiki, you can stop sharing the screen so that Mary can be able to share her screen. Mary, please share Dwiki's certificate so that we issue.
Okay, it is coming.
Oh, I got it. The certificate. That's unique.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, in
I think I
appreciation.
get it.
Yeah.
There it
Oh,
is.
thank
this
you.
certificate is issued to
Yay.
Mr. Dwiki
Clap for me.
Rahman Khan
Clap for me.
for being a speaker. Yes, give him flowers. And it is awarded on this day, 11th day of October 2025 via Zoom, courtesy of our president, Dr. Neil Alvaro, who is also the founder of IELTA, and myself. Thank you so much. It was a nice session. Next, I would wish, I don't know whether our vice is still here, Max Miller. Please issue the certificate to our moderator today. Max Miller, are you there? Mary, kindly share the certificate.
Just a minute. Let me do it.
Maxi, oh, sorry. There you go. You can now.
Okay, me. Oh, thank you very much, Margot, for that beautiful certificate. Thank you so much.
Okay, wait for Maxi to issue. Maxi, you can talk now.
Good evening, everyone. And once again, thanks, Mary, for the great work that you have done as a moderator of this webinar session, Unpacking Second Language Acquisition. As always, you've always been ready to assist us and when you are asked to do, and we really appreciate and thank you for your selflessness. Once again, thank you very much. Mary is a member of IELTA board.
Thank you so much, Maximilian. I appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words.
Thank you so much,
Maximilian.
Maximilian is the vice chairperson of IELTA Kenya, and Mary is the learner coordinator officer on the board. Kindly, Mary, now share the last certificate. This certificate is for all participants. I'm sharing a link on the chat. Okay, there's someone who has written. Before that, I can just read this. Oh yeah, about the 7 languages. Sorry about your network, Emmanuel. And he wanted to share how he'll to speak 7 languages fluently. Personally, he's a Luo and definitely can speak that. Then mother is a Luya, so that's how he manages to speak the Luya. Then in school, he learns English and Kiswahili. Then in college, sorry about that. In college, he developed interest in Congolese music, so he learned French and Lingala, then learned in Eldoret. So that's how he learned Kalenjin.
So that's how he learned Kalenjin. Wow.
That's very interesting. I hope you'll be able to teach us how the fluency came in. Yeah, so everyone is saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So for all the participants, you'll be able to receive such a certificate once you fill in the survey form. So you'll copy paste the link so that you'll be able to fill in. I don't know why it's not coming. Okay, there you go. So copy paste the link, please, so that you'll be able to get your certificate And the certificate will be like what you're seeing on the screen. I've shared the link, I think. Are you able to see it? Francisco, the link is just on top of your text. I hope you're seeing it. Or let me send again. There. So thank you so much, everyone, for attending today's session. And we shall have our next session coming from Varma from Germany, which will be on 1st November. Please don't miss the session. Thank you so much.